All right, Cancer. This is what I was picking up as I was getting ready for your reading. It's almost like you're dealing with somebody that's it's almost like a power struggle. That's what our power struggle. You're dealing with somebody that, you're trying to do everything, they ask you to do, and it's always no, but this, now do this. Now I don't know. For some of you guys, this could be a parental figure. This could be, you know, somebody you're in a long-term relationship or, a marriage. But it's almost like, hell, you got to jump through loops here and there, and it's causing you this, this mental issue, this form of confusion. Some of you guys, if you are dealing with a group that's just not giving you any clarity, this, you want to stick around because this message is going to be for you. Now, look, this is what I got when I was pre-shuffling. It's almost like somebody wanted you to be in this Five of Cups, you know? And for a lot of you guys, you could be struggling with your goals. You want to move in a different direction. Like I said, if this is a parental figure, it's almost like, you can't get a car until you do this, and you do all these things. For a lot of you guys, you want to go to a certain college, and it's almost like the merry-go-round. They say they're going to support you, but then they're not. For some of you guys, I know what I picked up. For some of you guys, you could be dealing with, if it's a family union, it's almost like, let's say it's a family business, and they don't want to promote you. You want to go to study for something else, and they just, oh, you're gonna do good here and this, and it's better, and you're not having it. For some of you guys, you could just be doing it to honor, your parents or a father, mother figure, or whatever, a family. But you're picking up on this energy. They don't really care about you. So yeah, you could be dealing with just, it's almost like you want to give up, or a lot of you guys could have thought, thoughts of, going to the other side. I hate to say it, but look, you could be, it's like, you're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. Look, some of you guys have a choice. Which house do you want to go? You could stay at, for a lot of you guys, you could have been, if this is in the past, you married somebody just to get out the house and it was worse. You could have ended up in this energy. This person, look, they could have been holding on to your money and just watched you struggle. For some of you guys, they could have betrayed you. They could have betrayed you when it comes to money. But justice is right here. So let's get some shuffle. I did see the Emperor. And a lot of you guys, you're done. You want to move forward. A lot of you guys have already, like I said, this is something that it's already happened. Look, and you're wondering, am I gonna, you could be doubting God, the universe. Look, you could be struggling because you're looking out there and you see, like, man, how the hell how am I gonna make it over there? There's no boats, there's nothing coming over here. Look, for some of you guys, you can't even swim. You could float. But a lot of you guys are looking forward, and you're gonna move, and you have already. And it's almost like by them betraying you with money, it's almost like a form of control. If this was a spouse, both of you guys could have been working, and then all of a sudden, I don't know. I get this energy for some of you guys. Look, and it struggle. Look, they had you out in the cold. I'm getting this energy like you had enough. It's almost like, if you're not gonna give me any clear answers, this could have been something you were like, hey, are you gonna allow me to look at the bank statements, or allow me, if this was a business, let me look at the books. You could be a woman, with your man, and I don't know, I heard long business, and maybe they get paid cash, or if it's in the dope game, you already know the Tower moment. Yeah, look, it says avoiding the reality of the situation. So if you were dealing with somebody when it comes to love, maybe you wanted answers. Maybe this person was giving you the go around when it came to financials, because it has something to do with you wanting, betrayal of money. Look, you could be in this energy. The Queen of Cups. This is you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, anywhere in your chart. It says an emotional supportive figure. I'm picking up for some of you guys, though, even though you were in this energy, look at all the fight. This is somebody who could have had kids with. It's almost like their way of not allowing you to move forward was being very controlling, causing you to have, if this wasn't physical fights, this is something mentally. For some of you guys, it could have been, like magic, man or woman. There's some men that'll do some crap like that. At least I'm finding out I didn't know about this crap. Look, and I'm telling you, with this right here, with the hermit, I didn't know, but the hermit's coming out. A lot of you guys could have been, seeking advice. And I'm picking up Cancer for a lot of you guys. This is King of Pentacles. Ideas overcome by materialism, corruption. You could have been asking advice. And a lot of people would say, well, did you get it from the wrong person? I said it earlier. It was like an emperor. This could have been a father figure, a mother figure. You could have been like, hey, this is what I'm looking to do, whether it's in career, because for some of you guys it's career, but yet they don't want you to move to a different career. You could have siblings, and you're the one that I guess prospers. And they could have been forcing now this, if this was a spouse, yeah, they were controlling. It's just greedy with the money. They were going to make sure that you weren't going to move on. So if for some of you guys, you finally said, hey, you know what? I can't handle it. I've tried this, and that. I've done everything you said, I cleaned this. I did inventory. Hell, I went and picked this up, and it was the same thing. This person was greedy. They were holding on. But you caught on. You caught on. These people were celebrating behind your back. So if they caused a 10 of swords on you, they were celebrating. You could have went into this right here. This is your card. It's like you moved quick. You're grabbing a hold of where you want to go. And look, for a lot of you guys, you were forced to move forward in a different direction. We have the Eight of Wands reverse, delays and slow. It's like they wanted to delay you moving forward. With the Page of Wands, you could have had to leave. With them causing you to with delays, and you have the Eight of Swords, right? I mean, the Eight of Cups. Y'all left with nothing. Forced. For some of you guys, you were forced. This could have been a parental figure. And I don't know. I'm picking up for some of you guys. This is something that you had to deal with, possibly even in your youth. This is for my Cancers that had to work at a young age. Whether for some of you guys, yeah, you could have lost a parental figure and you just had to work. You figured, you had, some of you guys could have been abandoned. For a lot of you guys, it was just control. I don't know. Some of you guys could be, the first siblings. If you have a group of siblings, you weren't born with the silver spoon. You had to bust ass. For some of you guys, yeah, you could have younger siblings, and they didn't have to work like you. So a lot of you guys I'm picking up, you could even have had to work. So imagine you working and you got, because, if you really look back, some of your parents, if they're land, they had to give the check to the dad. It's the way they were raised. But for some of you guys, this was more of a control. Maybe you wanted freedom. And like I said earlier, I picked up on honoring. There was something about honoring. And you're going to know if this reading is for you. Because a lot of people, even your siblings, I'm here, they would not even honor. They're takers. They're takers. For some of you guys, they're takers. But you leaving, even though you feel they celebrated, they betrayed you. If you were in a marriage, they could have betrayed you. It's almost like they took the other person's, your spouse's side. And you chose to keep it positive. For some of you guys, if this is part of your awakening, that's why the cards were saying, I was picking up, you're kind of doubting God, the universe, like, really? How? I'm choosing you. I thought it was a blessing. It is, but you got to understand it. Part of the process, when you carry the cross, it's not easy. I'm going to tell you from experience, you're going to feel like you're in the dark and you're supposed to be a star, but you're in the dark. For some of you guys, it could have been a fire sign you were dealing with, and they watch you suffering. But look, you call judgment. And the King of Swords, look, for a lot of you guys, you're manifesting the truth. And I'm talking to a Cancer that I always say in Spanish, no tienes pelos en la lengua. You don't have no hairs on your tongue. So you could have been dealing with a narcissistic, I don't know, I heard parental figure, but you still had love for this particular person. All that, even if you had to walk away, and some of you guys, you might have walked away at a young age. Even living at home, I heard. Look, I flipped this over, that Knight of Wands. And then with the Four of Wands right here, with the Two Wands, look, some of you guys wanted to adventure, like you wanted your own life. You wanted to live your own life. Like you're not afraid to make a mistake, take accountability, and keep it pushing. You know, for some of you guys, look, with this conflict right here, this could have been somebody you had kids with. They caused this conflict. Why? Because they didn't want you to take, you know, they didn't want you to look at the box. You know, they didn't want you to have opportunities. They wanted you to be stuck. But why do you want to be somewhere where you're not valued? Where you're, you know, if you're a lady, all they wanted was the culo, y that's it, or pinche an hour BJ, and you're like, that's all you want me for. Or if you're a man, you know, they just wanted the check, not even lunch. And if it was lunch, it could have been kind of witchcraft. Some of you guys who wondered, how did I get into this situation? So you're not taking no offers from this particular person. You might have gave this person 3 chances, like I said, or within 3 months, it was the same story over and over. And you were dealing with, you know, with a bunch of challenges. And then we have this, the Six of Pentacles, you know, universal balance. It's almost like you want balance. You could have asked the universe, hey, this ain't going right. If you're being guided by the universe, by God, because I could tell you from my personal testimony, like I was shocked. I was thrilled. And I didn't understand the hate that would come, you know, from you telling somebody like, man, I want to change. I want to do something different. I don't know. Some of you guys could have went through that. And it's a tough process because a lot of people will turn away and they'll go with the flow with everybody else. Oh yeah, I don't, no man, I grabbed my nuts and I still went forward. I put God first, and it was not easy. It was Wheel of Fortune. You would think, yeah, man, I got the Wheel of Fortune. It was a path that comes with process, and at first, it's gonna make you go, and you're not gonna understand it. It's gonna make you go to your childhood, to where you're like, oh, and that's part of the process. Is healing that inner child, and you won't understand it at first. But the enemy, the devil's going to be right there trying to break you so you could run back. You know, with the Wheel of Fortune, look, you have death, number 13, baby, Scorpio energy. Now, I'm talking to some Cancers. You have dealt with this underworld. What I mean by that, you probably as a kid, as a youngster, you saw things and you might have been afraid. Not no more. Not no more. Cancer, there's somebody that wants to come and give you an offer. You mean the world to this particular person. This person you could feel that they could be coming in to deceive you with this Seven of Swords. This person could have manipulated you. Yeah, you're bringing the light on. They celebrated what they took from you. You know what? God was watching the whole thing. You might have told them that. Cancer, you focused and you went towards your healing. I mean, like that. You took off in the chariot. You know what? I'm gonna do my healing. This could have took some while. It could have took a while. Look, what's up with this two? This Two of Cups. And if you were going through a process, for some of you Cancers, you could have had a shitload of options, or you just was confused with this particular person. Like you wanted to leave one relationship to go to another. Let's see. What's this two? Because I'm picking up on that, and it's almost like you were too. It wasn't making sense. Yeah, look, this is the Seven of Wands, but it came up backwards. Success may be delayed or missed. Surrender, lost confidence, success of enemies. And you could have felt like this person could have been an enemy. Look, they didn't want to, they didn't even give you clarity when it came to this Ten of Pentacles. Like, if they really wanted you, they would have been there for you. So that's why I said you're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. That's what I'm picking up right now. So this person, this other person that you had it's almost like the universe. You had a lot of love for this. I'm hearing the universe put this person, or they put you in this path, and they weren't willing to fight for you. For some of you guys, you could have fought for this person. They could have been going through similar things, but this person was difficult. For a lot of you guys, this person only wanted your money. And they were going to walk away. This could have been even the marriage one. It's almost like you let go of both and you stuck to God, and that's what I would have done. Look, because look, you're not going to get this blessing. You feel like it's lost opportunities, delay, money lost, and you could feel like, oh, they did a destiny swap. They could try. But if you're on this spiritual journey, what they're going to realize is that, look, you have these blessings. The universe, they didn't allow it. Now, I've talked before. Some of you guys, you'll see your enemies like prospering. And that's for it to mess with your mind. The enemy is going to mess with your mind. Like, yeah, we got you. They could be celebrating. But how strong are you? What's your strength when it comes to your faith? Because they could be partying, doing everything they want. But look, results may be less than they expected. It's almost like God could have gave them a blessing, but it wasn't a true blessing. It was only a test from God. What are they going to do? Because for a lot of you guys, it was you. They were being blessed through you. I don't know. It says it somewhere in the sun or something like that. Don't hold me to it. But the blessing came through you. So when God allowed them to cut you out, so they think, because rejection is God's protection. They didn't reject you. God rejected them and pulled you and is putting you on the path, your divine spiritual path. Because look, these people, they're right here looking at all the blessings that you could have been creating while you were there. But it's upside down. It's like, it's going to be gone little by little. And from them smiling, from them showing off, because some of you guys, they even use your reputation. It's almost like the tables are going to turn, because look, this 10 of cups, that 10 of cups. I say 10 of cups. This is 2 of cups. So even if this was your person, they didn't fight for you. They lied about you. Why? Because they wanted the money. That's all they were worried about. They wanted you to walk away. They thought, by you walking away, you was not going to be prospering. For a lot of you guys, if they stomped on your reputation and you tried to fight, or you're trying right now, cut it out. Keep moving forward. See, God is very strategic. Little by little, he's going to tell you when, if you're paying attention, if you're being obedient, when to talk, to say, how to do it. But first, you're going to heal from all the past traumas. That's why I said the inner child. And you're going to learn from the past. And look, fast. This is coming out again. So for a lot of you guys, look, you're becoming the magician. All the betrayals, everything that you're experiencing is part of your spiritual growth. Now, you got 2 things, 2 ways you can handle this situation, or maybe more. But I'm picking up on 2. You could either trust your spiritual journey, surrender, let go, allow them to laugh, stay callado, quiet, obedient, and allow God to teach you how to manifest. So above, so below, something like that. Don't get me quoted, but for some of you guys, you're going to learn how to manifest in the spirit world first. And I mean, you're going to go through hell. You're going to be battling up there. It's not going to be easy. Put it in the comments. Look, and then with this Knight of Wands, things may not go as well as expected. And I would laugh because I had the foresight to see. For some of you guys, you have it. You could have warned them. It's almost like God could have whooped your ass too for letting them know, because I know I got my ass. But your anger, you could have been dealing with impulsive, because you were fear. You didn't know what the hell was going on. It's almost like I feel for some of you guys, they could have set you up. From being in this King of Cups, man or woman, to being in this energy. And then with the Four of Wands upside down, this person right now, they're watching you manifest, or they will be. And for a lot of you guys, you kept positive instead of being negative, because for some of you guys, you have the ability to, to manifest negativity. And maybe for a lot of you guys, you took accountability, or you're being asked to, and you are dealing with your karma. In other words, if you're going through something like this, you're going to realize, oh shit, that is karma. And you're taking accountability on your part. The other person is not going to be sitting there, because I see somebody that lied. They didn't really say why. There's a reaction, there's a cause and effect. And we deal with this, even with the system, with the laws and everything. Whoa, why are they asking for a protection order? What did they do? There's a cause and effects. Nobody just gets pissed off for no reason. No, that's what I'm picking up. Channel message. This person could have betrayed you, but they ain't gonna go and say, well, it's because I betrayed him, No, he or she. There was healing. Look, for a lot of you guys, you were healing, or you weren't afraid to heal. But for some of you guys, this person, they're afraid to come to you, they're hiding behind, all the things they did. They don't want to take accountability. Some of these, I could be talking about a parental figure. They could have done you dirty. Instead of helping you out, like you could have counted on this person, you could have leaned. I mean, come on, it's a parental figure. And then they backstab you, they do everything. Like I said earlier, they could have teamed up even with your ex. That's not even their kid. No, they don't want to be accountable. The stars upside down, and look, they're hiding behind the moon. Cancer, they're hiding, hoping that it doesn't come out. Now we got a fire sign right here, feeling they're overwhelmed, their self-esteem. Why? Because it's gonna come out. It's that's how it works. What you put out is what you're gonna receive. And when it comes back, if you were the one that did somebody dirty, because look, people think, oh, well, why am I going through all this if they did me dirty? It's part of the process. You're gonna have to go through it. And a lot of people outside, they know who you are. A lot of you guys help these other people. They know. But they were jealous. They were envious. They didn't even ask you. So you had to go through this process to heal. It was part of a healing journey. And for a lot of guys, you were dealing with somebody that just wanted to stick everything. It's almost like if it was betrayable money, they wanted you dead. They wanted you to die so they could keep everything. For some of you guys, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Look at their parents. How did they obtain money? And some of you guys, you're going to understand. You're going to teach your kids. Look, before you get with somebody, understand the family. What are they dealing with? What kind of, generational curses and stuff like that. I don't know why I'm picking that up. Look. So this could be a fire sign, a King of Wands. This person could have manifested. This person could have, man or woman, they could have watched. They could have watched you right here just go through a painful ending, backstab, they gossip. Yo, for some of you guys, this if you were married to this particular person, look, you had a lot of strength. And you had to leave this particular person. You could have. If you were married to a fire sign, you were dealing with the fire sign. I know there's a line here. It's almost like You could have embodied this energy. Like, you could have held back. You didn't even know how you were going to move. You didn't attack. Look, this is upside down. You weren't attacking. You didn't have no devil energy. Your intuition is Pisces is upside down. The whole deck could be upside down, but still, it's almost like you were just. A lot of you guys, if people found out, look, this bounced out. This tower moment, attempting to avoid the inevitable, resisting, avoiding loss. This person right now is probably dealing with trying to avoid this tower moment, but they can't hold on. It's going to happen. What they put out is going to come back. If you're sticking to the divine, I don't know, I'm picking up on some of you guys. Look, this came out. You had this inner strength. You tried to, for some of you guys, you were protecting this person. How does that look? Look, this is the Empress. You could have been in this energy, man or woman. Like if this was your spouse, you're very fruitful. You make something out of nothing. In other words, this person couldn't have had anything without your creativity, without your reputation. Period. That's what I heard. And this person went behind your back, and the universe is gonna allow you to see who's behind it. They're gonna be exposed little by little. They want you to continue on your full journey. This is you, understanding who you are, really getting with the divine. Look, somebody's expecting you to fight, but you're too busy on your journey. What does that mean? You're paying attention. You're being obedient. God wants you to go this way. Here you go. This person expected for you to come back and fight, and you're more positive. You throw out positivity than negativity. I'm not going to say you never do. You have thoughts. I'm for sure. If somebody betrayed you, who's not going to think? But like I always tell people, God knows your heart. No matter sometimes if you mess up, your intentions. This person thought you were going to come and fight, and people are walking away from this person because you were never the problem. A lot of you guys, they're gonna find out. What's gonna be exposed is you were actually protecting this person. Like there was this person that a friend of a friend. I'm gonna tell you like that. That he was sick. He was going through hard times. He had a possibility of dying. So this person got insurance, life insurance and everything. And this person was mad, his spouse, because he put the insurance for the kids and a small percentage for her, and pissed off. And I was curious too. I was like, why? He goes, because I want my kids to be secure. She's gonna, if I die, she's gonna get married and everything, and that's normal. I mean, nobody needs to be alone. And this guy wasn't jealous. And he wanted his kids. He said the kids to have authority over the house, and she could handle the water bills, and plus there was a business, so it wasn't like she was gonna be left out in the street. Oh no, this person ended up. I saw the Three of Swords. Look, ended up betraying him, running off with the supervisor, making things, like a deal, basically sabotaging. The person didn't end up dying. He was caused. He was dealing with a lot of spiritual, and his health. And the minute this person, he went to jail, in other words, but he wasn't in there that long. And it was around the time where, 2020, but this person ended up in the Five of Pentacles, and this person never had nothing. But it was hard because the whole family, it was kind of like I was saying earlier, the whole family turned against him. They kind of like, there was a lot of greed and jealousy that siblings, would take from him. He just always looking out for this particular his family. And sometimes your inner circle will be the ones that will betray you. Look, a lot of you guys, look, with this Four of Swords, you're mentally stronger. You're gonna be in this energy. You're moving on from past hurts and regrets. You've healed. You look at it like, you know what? God is going to handle it. So let's give you an angel number. So if you were dealing with that, just know 26, look, serendipity. I don't know if I said that shit right, but it sounded all right. 26 could be something. You could be born on the 26th. That's 8-8. The Lion's Gate is going to be very important. It says, I create harmony in all areas of my life. I prioritize my well-being, ensuring balance between work, rest, and play. My balanced life brings me peace and fulfillment. And then over here on authenticity, 3232. That's 5. That's 55. Some of you guys could be born in 55, or that's 10. It's yeah. Estuvo bueno. I live authentically and true to myself. I honor my unique gifts and express truest with confidence. Authenticity attracts genuine connections and opportunities. Woo, Lord. For some of you guys, look, prosperity 1818. We claim it. We claim it. Prosperity says, I am a beacon of prosperity and abundance. I attract wealth and success into my life with ease. Like when it comes to you easily and effortlessly. This person, once you start to cut the cords and you pull back your energy, I'm here for some of you guys. Once you start to speak out, when the universe tells you when, they're not going to know where to hide. Pinche ratas are. They're going to make excuses. It says, my positive mindset and hard work lead me to financial freedom and fulfillment. And that's what they wanted off of your energy. That's a shame. That's a shame, man. Let me give you this last one right here. Look, I don't know if you want this one. For a lot of you guys, it says, just be you. And if people don't like it, well, fuck them. And for some of you guys, yeah, you're going to be a people pleaser no more. And for a lot, I don't know, Cancer, for a lot of you guys, I was picking it up. You want a people pleaser. For a lot of you guys, if this is within your inner circle, like if there was a parental figure that didn't want you to move on, just work for me. Yeah, to benefit them. You made them a lot of money. For a lot of you guys, you just wanted freedom. If you were going to move on to another relationship, oh no, they wanted control. Oh, what are they going to think? For a lot of you guys, you were willing to surrender everything, and they still sabotage you and hurt you in a way that I don't think is, unforgettable. What I'm getting. It says, I will let go of the shit that does not serve me. And it says right here, life's too short for bullshit. Fuck the negativity and embrace the chaos. I mean, Cancer, I don't know what to tell you, but this is the energy I got. Nobody's going to accomplish your goal. Stop with your excuses and make something of your life. See, no matter what these people do, if you follow God's way, you're gonna make it. If you sit there and you gonna say, "Ay, Dios mío, what are they gonna do?" I'm gonna let you know. Sometimes you gotta let them think that you're losing, and sometimes you gotta lose to win. Yeah, sometimes you gotta lose to win. Wait until you get back on the block. I don't know what that means. And this is referring to you staying in this 8 of Swords. For some of you guys, hacen pendejos. Yeah. Pendejos, you know what you're doing. I heard we ain't playing checkers, we're playing chess. So that's what I got for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rise, and Venus, anywhere in your chart. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment.